matter. You've been watching Real Health, and we're exploring the holistic impact of chronic stress. And I try to journal every day, but on a Monday I usually try to do a gratitude list. And you said you have a gratitude prayer that you say every day, and if you don't say it, then the day is a non-starter, basically.
That's it. And it's all about habits. It's about putting
routine.
In good, yes. And it's so boring, and everyone hates hearing it. I mean, I'm sure everyone who watches the show probably thinks, oh, all you have to do is eat well, sleep enough, meditate.
Yeah, you're telling me the same thing over and over.
There is value in it, because routine is key to balancing your life. So just like how we can create bad habits, we can also create good habits. And that is, for me, has been a great stress relief, is creating good habits. So finding time to meditate, finding time to be grateful, finding time to journal, finding time to just sleep a little bit extra, or having a bath instead of a shower, or just switching off my phone for the whole night, or putting it on silent and not worrying about the world. It's those small little habits that we do that will help us cope better with our stress.
I know, like my husband and I have a date night. That helps us deal with our relationship stress. We don't deal with the stress on the date night. Please don't ever do that. That completely gets rid of the point of having a date night. But it does help restore that balance and that connection as well. I'm jumping a little bit back because we touched on nutrition, but we didn't touch on alcohol. And you were saying that it affects your stress patterns, even though people think that it'll help them sleep.
Yeah, they have a few drinks because they think it's going to relax them and it's fun, or it's time out with their friends. But it actually affects your sleep. So then you're lying in bed and you're not sleeping, which then obviously lack of sleep will also affect your body, because you're not getting that restoration time. And especially for insomniacs, alcohol is one of the worst triggers. So,
and it's bad for the gut as well. So then you exacerbate that vicious cycle as well. Ian, can we be genetically predisposed to stress, or to a stress response?
There's a couple of SNPs, as they're called, which is the variants that I see in the genetic tests I use. One, it's to do with dopamine.
Okay.
So dopamine is your, go hard and, well, it's the get things done neurotransmitter. It's linked to adrenaline and the stress pathway. So yeah, some people are pre-programmed genetically, and this is the blueprint, it's not to do with environmental, to actually be more wired, have higher dopamine levels, have higher adrenaline levels.
Are these your like type A personalities?
Type A's, exactly. The other one I've come across, it's called COMT, and it's an enzyme that helps to break down adrenaline. It also breaks down estrogen. So once you've made a hormone and it's been used for its purpose, you need to break it down and remove it from the body, or it just keeps going and going. Adrenaline, obviously you don't want floating around too much, so this enzyme is really important to break it down, but some people do it badly or don't have a good COMT gene.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, that's very interesting, because although we know that genes play a smaller part than what we thought they previously did, right? We can start to change our lifestyles and start to implement various strategies. So it's not an excuse, but it does help create understanding around it.
I use my hands to demonstrate. So there's your genes, there's your environment, and shake your hands. So that's you. So all of these genes that are tested, you can do something with. Like, for example, the COMT SNP, you can add in magnesium, which is a calming mineral, and these people need more magnesium than the average.
Speaking of which, during exam time and winter times, there's always these sort of marketing campaigns that happen. These are the type of supplements that you should be taking. So usually with exam time, it's your vitamin Bs. You hear about slow mag, so your calcium and your magnesiums. Are those the minerals and vitamins that do help with stress, or are we focusing on those and ignoring others that genuinely would help us with coping with stress?
Well, for me, the basic is your diet. Start with your diet.
Yeah, we feel like stuck record players now, right? Because we're saying the same thing
every episode. But it's definitely to do with the diet. Just having a good breakfast is so important for a child before they write an exam or they go to school. And if they're suffering with anxiety or a stressful home environment, let your child eat a substantial breakfast. So something that's protein-based and not quick carbohydrates like our cereals. We're all pre-programmed to think that cereal is the way to have what to have for breakfast.
Good marketing again.
There we go. We're not Americans, we're South Africans. So a good diet, definitely. Over and above that, definitely your B vitamins, magnesium. What else would you recommend? So many.
I deal with them individually. So you're going to get some kids doing exams that are really stressed out and anxious. You need to calm them down. So, your magnesium, but chamomile and hops and valerian and passion flower, these are things that can just settle the system a bit. But then you get kids that need to be revved up a little bit.
Yeah.
So maybe not caffeine, but certainly the adaptogenic herbs.
Yeah.
Some are more stimulating, some are less stimulating.
Actually, you're reminding me, I thought I didn't have any questions for this episode, but a lady did message me on Facebook, and she said she has a 16-year-old daughter. She's in school and the stress is related to, the school environment. What can I recommend for her?
I think that it's not a bad idea at that age to start learning some kind of relaxation technique. You can buy awesome CDs and maybe, just 10 or 15 minutes, even if she just does it in the evening.
Yeah.
It's a very good age for someone to start learning how to relax their own body and work with that. But then also obviously things like chamomile tea and all of those kind of things will definitely help.
Yeah, play a sport. Oh, Ian, exercise is a stressor in and of itself as well, but over time, it de-stresses us, right?
Not that simple.
Okay. I try to make things simple, but I never get it right.
But you can simplify it. So I like the Chinese analogy of yin-yang.
Yeah.
So yang is intense and yin is balancing. Same with exercise. So you think, okay, right, go out and play a hard game of football or tennis or something. It's very stimulating and hard on the body, and it produces a lot of cortisol. Yoga, meditation, Pilates, walking barefoot on the grass, these are all lowering cortisol levels. So I've got a research study I use in lectures that shows to achieve normal day-to-day cortisol levels, it's kind of like a middle range of exercise. It's kind of like your low-intensity cardiovascular exercise that will get that. Below that, the only way to get below it is to do active relaxation like your yogas, Tai Chis, etc. To go above it, then if you're on top of an already stressed system, like I mentioned the stress execs before, I also see 16-year-olds who are going through exams, to throw in too much exercise is just going to load up the cortisol levels.
That's not the right time for it. Everything has its place.
Yeah. Well, definitely take your daughter to have a good assessment with a good nutritionist or a good homeopath or a good physio craniosacral therapist, because you need to really look at which area your child is suffering, because we always think stress is all one big lump, but it can be wired stress, worried stress, mentally fatigued, or just physically tired stress. So try and isolate or try and figure out what type of stress she's dealing with, and then go to someone who you trust to help that child more individually. It's so difficult to say, but in general, I think the best thing to do is just be aware.
Yeah.
Aware
I like
of what
some
you
of
can
the
deal
tips,
with.
just find relaxation strategies and things like that. Those are things that she can implement now prior to finding an expert that she can work with. But guys, thank you so much for coming onto the show and chatting about stress. So if you saw value or got value out of today's show, we'd love to hear from you. What are you actually doing to manage your stress? I know I started coloring books. They call them coloring books for adults, and I love it. I can take out my pencils wherever I go, and I spend hours coloring in, and it's helped me. And then there's the journaling and meditation as well. But I'd love to hear what your strategies are. You can email us at on the info@thehomechannel.co.za. Also, if you want to get in touch with any of our guests from today's show, you can visit thehomechannel.co.za. So goodbye, stay healthy, and remember our mantra: you are healthy, vibrant, and lean. Love and take care of your being. We'll see you next time. Cheers.
Summer trees, but I'm feeling better now. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better.